Welcome back to Good Day State Line. We are really excited this morning to meet Dr. William Giakas. We're at Rockford Psychiatric Medical on Alpine. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Michelle.
So we have a really cool apparatus. Is that the right word?
I think that's fair. Yeah, a medical device.
That's the real term. Yeah. I'll talk about it in just a minute. But first, we just want to hear a little backstory on you, how you landed in Rockford, and what you do here.
Sure. Yeah, well, I trained at Yale University, where I did my psychiatry residency training, and got recruited by Swedish American Hospital many years ago and came out in '92.
Okay.
Started working there and then opened my private practice at that time.
So what basically happens in this private practice? Who would come see you?
So we see patients about ages 5 all the way through older adult. I'm board certified in adolescent psychiatry, general psychiatry, geriatric psychiatry, and forensic psychiatry, which is law and psychiatry. So we treat patients ages about 5 all the way on up, and really just about any condition. We treat patients who have major depression, very common, generalized anxiety disorder, panic disorder, social phobia, ADHD, extremely common problem that we treat. So a really wide range of problems.
So what is the actual definition of a psychiatrist? There's a difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist.
Very good point, because
I don't know
my own
anymore.
family members get confused sometimes about that. So a psychiatrist is a medical physician who specialized in mental health. So we're trained and equipped to do both psychotherapy if we choose to do that, but really we're specialists in the diagnosis of mental health disorders. So you first have to start off with an accurate diagnosis,
Sure.
correct, to get any kind of good treatment result. But we're also experts in using and applying psychopharmacology, medication treatment to the management of disorders. But in my role here in my office, I have 4 nurse practitioners and 7 psychotherapists. I also do a lot of consulting for them,
Sure.
and also just kind of backing up the work that they're doing to help out. So I serve as a kind of a built-in second consultant for some of my nurses, for example.
So we talked about medication, so
Yes.
that's one option, but now you have this new machine that's kind of helping people get off of some of the medication they were previously on, right?
Correct. We have a really exciting new advanced treatment that's non-invasive. It involves no medication, and yet it's a physical treatment for depression, and it's called Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation, TMS.
I'm glad it has an abbreviation.
It has an abbreviation, TMS. And what's amazing is TMS has been, the whole concept is really using high-powered pulsing magnetic fields over a special part of the brain called the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex, DLPFC, to bring back normal activity. It sounds I've got friends who are physicians who think it's kind of like, are you talking about those little magnets you put on your wrist for carpal tunnel? It was kind of hokey. This is actual high-powered magnetic pulsing, as strong as an MRI, but it's focused to basically get tissue in the brain to become back to normal and reactivate. It's been studied for 25 years. There's a lot of information about how this works in the brain, but essentially, for people who have depression or anxiety, this DLPFC, this area in the frontal lobes, is basically almost like a portal to other mood areas. We have temporal lobes that are involved in depression. There's actually parts inside the brain, like the anterior cingulate cortex, that are all involved in regulating mood and behavior. And it turns out that in depression and anxiety, this area is underactive. And what we want to do is activate it again. And through a series of multiple treatments over a period of 6 weeks, we get patients to come back to normal and recover from depression.
And that's something you can actually see in your machine.
This device uses an MRI of the patient's own brain, creates a 3-dimensional model of that we can look at, peel down, rotate, look at in every direction. And then we digitize the patient's head. We put a tracker, and then we actually touch points on the head that correspond with MRI points that we've set up. So now, if I move the magnetic coil here, it parallels exactly on the brain where it is. So I can see how it's rotated, I can see if it's laying across the brain the way I want it to, and it's so much more accurate.
Which is really the whole point.
The whole point is you have to stimulate, you have to stimulate the correct area if you're going to get the result. And it turns out with some of these other systems, they end up hitting an area that's really just in front of the motor cortex, and they lose efficacy because they're only on the correct spot about 1/3 of the time. So our machine has got that accuracy and the visual feedback to know we're in the right place.
So if someone wanted to get in touch with you and see if this is for them, where should they go?
So what they could do is they could either check our website, rockfordpsych.com, or they can just call the office, 815-395-1500. And make an appointment, schedule a consultation. What's nice with this treatment is that it's not like shock treatment. People think it's like electricity and shock. There's actually no electricity that passes through. It's a magnetic pulse. And you can come here, you can drive yourself, and you can drive home.
That's a big one.
And the side effects are minimal. We've treated about 100 patients so far over the past year, and I would say less than 10 patients have even had a mild headache.
Oh, wow.
So it's really, really well tolerated. There's no confusion. As a matter of fact, there's evidence that it actually helps post-concussion syndrome and that it helps with PTSD. I already know that it works for anxiety because anxiety is such a big part of depression to begin with, and we see those patients getting better as well.
I was so mesmerized talking to him about that. Coming up next on GDS, we are talking with 12-time Olympic medal winner, Dara Torres. She has the perfect app for you and your kids to download to stay active. Speaking of staying active, it's time to name our fan of the week. We asked you on Facebook, what's your favorite way to exercise? Our winner this week is Molly Stewart. Molly said her favorite way is cardio apps on her phone, jumping rope, and walking her dog in the spring and summer months. So she won a GDS swag bag filled with fun, and you can win one next week too. Just make sure to follow us on Facebook. We'll be right back.